Dawn bled pale gold over the jagged rooftops of Brackenstone, a river city where tugboats coughed diesel songs and market bells clanged before roosters bothered crowing. Inside the old municipal courthouse, marble floors shone faintly under gas lamps still sputtering from the night watch. Eleanor Vance, mediator for the city's tumultuous trade board, paced the anteroom with deliberate calm. Today's docket was combustible. Rival shipping guilds disputing control of a new wharf, millions of dollars in tariffs at stake, two patriarchs famous for tempers that could fell a pine. She studied their dossiers yet again, fingers grazing the frayed leather as though reassurance might leak through paper. She knew the law cold. What mattered now was not statutes, but temperature. She whispered to herself her quiet creed, never match heat with heat, begin in warmth or drown in fire. The first to arrive was Gareth Locke, of River & Sons Freight, a broad man whose boots seemed to dent granite. He strode in smelling faintly of oak cask brandy, jaw set, papers tucked beneath a tattooed forearm. "Morning, Miss Vance," he grunted, offering nothing more. Behind him, the rival, Anton Rourke, lean as a harpoon and twice as pointed, entered with a rustle of silk cravat, cane tapping like an impatient clock. The air instantly thickened. These two men had once served on the same barge line before a betrayal, real or imagined, splintered trust decades prior. Court whispers claimed they hadn't exchanged a civil sentence in 12 years. Eleanor inhaled the river-scented air slowly, as though oxygen itself might be coaxed into gentleness. Instead of launching into contracts, she unfolded a tray of porcelain cups, steam curling from a kettle. "Gentlemen," she said softly, "before we spar over paper, taste the new Darjeeling the harbor steward sent me. He swears it rides the tongue like sunrise on calm water." Rourke blinked. Locke frowned, suspicious of distraction. But ritual has gravity. They each accepted a cup if only to avoid appearing rude. Warm china and calloused hands, softened edges no argument could. Sipping together, even warily, anchored them in a tiny fellowship, three humans sharing leaf water and morning light. Eleanor's voice matched the steam's hush. "Brackenstone wakes noisy. Let's claim a quiet moment before the tides roar." The men muttered polite nothings about the tea's flavor, surprise flickering at its brightness. Eleanor steered the small talk to river fog, boat repairs, an early salmon run rumored upriver. Each remark was harmless, yet each melted an ounce of ice. Conflict postponed becomes conflict reframed. She noticed Rourke chuckle, barely audible, at Locke's complaint about gulls stealing bait. Such cracks, invisible to most, were the seams through which sunlight could pry open stalemates. Only after 10 patient minutes did she slide the dispute ledger across polished oak. "I value candor, and I value courtesy more. If we talk as neighbors first, negotiators second, I believe this room can outshine any courtroom." By explicitly honoring respect before rightness, she cast the next hours not as battle, but as joint stewardship of a civic puzzle. Neither man objected. Pride prefers to agree to decency rather than be shamed by refusal. Locke leaned forward, voice gravel. "My crews dredged the North Slip 3 winters running. That wharf is ours by sweat and risk." Rourke countered, "Sweat is fine, charter is king." Tension bristled, but beneath the table, Eleanor's fingers traced the T-ring, anchoring her breathing. "I hear deep pride in what each of you built," she said evenly. "Tell me what fairness looks like through your eyes, not through insults." Notice, she named pride yet refused it poison, giving ego somewhere dignified to stand. Hour by hour she pivoted sharp edges into rounded phrases. "Anton, could you walk us through your ledger, instead of defend your claim?" "Gareth, help us see the muscle River & Sons has invested, instead of prove ownership." She inserted small compliments naturally. "You keep meticulous numbers." Or, "Your crews must trust you fiercely." Such acknowledgments cost nothing yet minted trust coins in a room formerly bankrupt. By noon, maps sprawled across the table like cartographic wounds.
Disagreements flared but never scorched. The tea ritual lingered, cups refilled as tempers threatened to empty. Locke surprised himself by asking Rourke about a son apprenticing in sales. Rourke, guarded yet moved, recounted the boy's stubbornness, and for one heartbeat, both fathers remembered humanity before rivalry. Eleanor let silence bless that moment, understanding a bridge had been lashed with twine strong enough for commerce to walk across.
By noon, maps sprawled across the table like cartographic wounds. Disagreements flared, but never scorched. The tea ritual lingered, cups refilled as tempers threatened to empty. Locke surprised himself by asking Rourke about a son apprenticing in sales. Rourke, guarded yet moved, recounted the boy's stubbornness, and for one heartbeat, both fathers remembered humanity before rivalry. Eleanor let silence bless that moment, understanding a bridge had been lashed with twine strong enough for commerce to walk across. She adjourned briefly, inviting them to lunch at the harborside terrace. Salt wind combed away lingering spikes. The men devoured stew like dockhands, debating baseball scores. Neither realized Eleanor was mid-strategy. Friendships forged over bread, anchor concessions later. The harbor buzzed outside, ropes slopping masts, gulls slicing sky. But at that table, an embryonic treaty gestated quietly. Afternoon talks turned to numbers, tonnage, schedules. Where words sharpened, Eleanor dulled them with humor. "Gentlemen, I fear the wharf hears every adjective. Be kind, lest it sprout legs and sue us." Laughter, reluctant yet real, ventilated suspicion. They slid toward compromise like barges aligning with tide. Rourke conceded evening docking priority. Locke granted Rourke's guild a storage easement. Papers inked, signatures drying, but the deeper miracle was the absence of bitterness, a settlement won not by decree but by tone. At day end, sunlight braided copper streaks across river swells. Eleanor watched the two men linger by the courthouse steps, exchanging gruff jokes about pilfering goals. This trivial chatter, impossible at dawn to imagine, was proof of principle. They would implement their pact without sabotage because neither felt vanquished. Victory tasted less like conquest, more like relief laced with respect. Weeks later, the wharf thrummed under twin banners, River and Sons unloading cargo beside Rourke Maritime without so much as a muttered curse. Dockhands murmured that Miss Vance must wield spells. Eleanor only smiled. No sorcery, merely softness launched early. Begin kindly and gravity shifts. Begin harshly and you drag anchor forever. The city council noticed declining arbitration costs, faster contract closures. They asked Eleanor for the trick. She wrote 2 sentences on a slate. Approach as friend. Conflict may follow, but let warmth open the door. Counselors scoffed until balance sheets testified louder than cynicism. Friendly beginnings, though intangible, compounded like river interest. Years carved wrinkles at Eleanor's temples, silver threading her hair, yet merchants sought her mediation long after statute required. War feuds, canal tolls, even inheritance quarrels all began under her ritual. A calm voice, shared tea, human stories before legal stings. Some parties arrived bristling, left chuckling, contracts clasped like lifelines. Her chambers smelled perpetually of bergamot, cedar ink, and quiet triumph. When Eleanor retired, the Harbor Guild unfurled a banner. She kept the river gentle. Beneath the words lay a truth bigger than treaties. Battles disarmed by welcome hands seldom reignite. The principle she embodies endures like tide. Storms may rage, but if you greet adversaries as neighbors first, you lower the floodgates of ego, letting reason sail. Empires of commerce will fade, wharves crumble, yet those morning cups of tea echo, a testament that in every clash lies a choice. Strike first or smile first. History is kinder to the smile.